This is one of the coolest fills in the entire drumming vocabulary, but it's also one of the hardest. But don't worry about it. Today I'm going to show you 3 different versions: expert, intermediate, and guitar player. So this drum lick is most commonly known as the bludger. You've heard it a million times, like all the slickest drummers use it. Todd Sucherman, Greg Bissonette, Benny Greb. You've heard all the slick dudes use it. It's kind of a hard fill to play, but it's more about the execution. The sticking itself isn't difficult at all. I'm going to show you 3 different ways to play this, and we're going to break it right down. I don't have a PDF for this, just a heads up. All right, but I got 2 cameras going on, and I'm gonna break this down as much as I possibly can so you can just follow along and figure it out. All right, so let's just start with the expert level. I'm gonna show you how that's done, and then we'll break that down. Okay, so there's 2 critical components to the expert level of this particular fill. All right, there's a diddle in there, and there's a flam. Those are the 2 things that makes this fill or this lick what it is. Okay, so I would suggest starting with the right hand. This is what's happening with the right hand. All right, so it's 1 hit and then the diddle on the snare. The next thing that you're going to do is just flam that 1 big hit on the front. Okay, so that note that you're playing on the rack tom, I like to use the 12. You know, if you're one of these 1-up people, then you can use your whatever tom you got in front of you. I like having this kind of setup because it's just easier. It's easier for me to go like this than like this. You know what I'm saying? So I like to use the 12. So again, there's the diddle. There's a single hit diddle, and then you're going to flam the that big hit at the front. Okay? So in the beginning, when you're learning this, the rhythm that you sort of, I guess, want to focus on is this. Okay? Focus on sort of using that as your rhythmic template to play this. All right? Now, after you do that, then the critical part of making this, because this particular way of doing it is all feel. This expert level, it's all feel. So what you want to do once you get all of that down is you just kind of want to spread those notes out and loosen it up so it doesn't sound so like that. You kind of want to just sort of loosen it up. The best way to do that is to just really sort of delay the left hand on the snare. Okay? Because obviously the cool thing about this one is that the sloppier it sounds, the better it sounds. The sloppier you play it, so the looser the left hand, the better it's going to sound. This also works really cool. Like normally when I play this fill, I play them normally with slower tempos and especially with shuffles. This fill sounds amazing when you're doing shuffles. All right, so that's the first way to do it. This is the one that you should aim for. Oops. The second way that I like to play this fill, this is sort of the intermediate version, and it's the intermediate because the sticking's not necessarily as hard to play as the other one. The intermediate version eliminates the diddle. So what you can do, if you're having trouble playing it the expert way, try this way. This one just involves playing the herta. I don't know if y'all heard of the herta, but it's a particular type of sticking. All right? That's how I like to play this fill with faster tempos. Because for me, anyways, you don't really hear the diddle just kind of gets lost in a musical context and faster tempos. So I just kind of simplify it and I just play the herta. That sounds like this. Yeah. All right, so again, it's just a herta sticking. What I should point out when I'm doing it this way is that I didn't do it there. I'm just kind of demonstrating the sticking, but I just accent all of the hits on the snare drum. All right, so the advantage with playing it that way is that you can play a hertha pretty fast. So, you know, when you're playing those faster tempos, this fill, you can really muscle this fill out, and it's just a moment. You know what I mean? Somebody's gonna turn around and look at you for sure when you do it this way. So again, okay, so that is the intermediate way of approaching this fill. I don't even really want to call it the intermediate way to do it because I use it a lot. This is a really cool fill when you're playing those faster tempos, and you don't have to worry about, you know, trying to fit that diddle in there, which again is probably going to get lost in the mix anyway. So, you know, work smarter, not harder, right? So that's the second way. The third way is probably the simplest way to do it. It's not the most elegant, but it works in a pinch when you need to get it out. And it's the simplest sticking of the three. And it just involves accent. You're just gonna accent the notes that you're playing on the snare. And it's basically just kind of single hits on the toms. So that kind of looks like this. All right, so your left hand is going to be a little busy playing accents on the snare, but it's basically just single hits and you're flamming them. That's all that is. And again, like if you want to do this with the slower tempos, the shuffles, you know, that kind of thing, slower kind of 16th note movement types of grooves, that'll work. I don't do it this way, but it's a good way to sort of introduce yourself to playing this fill. I would suggest trying to start with the intermediate way of doing it. Just use that sort of hertha type of sticking, because again, it sounds really cool, particularly with the faster tempos. So those are the three ways that you can play this fill. So give these a shot. Next time you're in the practice room, you're sitting around the kit, want to try a new lick, try these out, man. These are really cool. You probably get a lot of mileage out of them too. Now do me a favor, after you leave here, go on and get you one of these t-shirts. I know you've been looking at it the entire time thinking, that's really cool. Well, guess what? This is a Beatdown exclusive, man. This is part of my merch. Link will be in the description box. Click on that. That'll take you over to my merch shop. You can get this in a bunch of different colors, so make sure you get 2 or 3 of them. Also, if you are not already a member of the DRUMEO Edge family, we've partnered up. There's a link in the description box as well. That'll take you over there. If you want to try DRUMEO for 30 days for free, you can do that. Just click on that link. That's going to take you over to my landing page. 2 clicks, you're in the entire kingdom for 30 days for free. There's a whole lot of stuff to check out in there, so make sure you consider it. As for me, I'm out. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you share it if you dig it. Like, subscribe. Drop a comment below if you got one. See you next video.